Hey guys, good morning. I'm Candace Scalese here at CBS 21 News in the control room. We are talking about icy, dangerous conditions on the morning commute. Already a lot of accidents this morning and a lot of ice. Steve Knight in the Weather Center this morning. He is back in his office tracking the latest. So, what do people need to know, Steve, heading out the door this morning?
Yeah, basically, Candace, here we sit this morning just after 7 a.m., and we're going to continue to deal with some sleet and freezing rain. That's going to continue here. It's all going to wrap up between like 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. That's going to happen from west to east. So next couple of hours, it's still going to be very icy, very slick. We still have temperatures out there that are hovering either at or just below the freezing mark. So, the steadiest precipitation came down about 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. Now that has tapered off to like scattered sleet, scattered pockets of some freezing rain. But everything that's out there is still a sheet of ice.
Yeah.
So I would advise holding off on any travel here until at least mid-morning. By this afternoon, we're going to see temperatures get into the low 40s and start to get some melting down. But it's still, yeah, that's a great example of what you're
Yeah.
going to be contending with out there this morning. I mean, you're not just scraping the windshield, you're chipping away at that windshield this morning.
Yeah.
It's
Both
been
of us
rough.
had to do that.
Yeah,
I had to just sit in my car and just let the ice melt because I was not about to get out in the cold weather and
right.
chip it away because we saw earlier too with Andrew, he was live in Harrisburg and there was an entire vehicle covered in ice. So Andrew, let's talk about that. What did you see? You were outside. You came in early for us today. Thank you. So what's it been like for you in Harrisburg?
Yeah, really cold throughout the day so far this morning. Obviously, we kind of know that. Yeah, that car specifically that you were talking about, Candace, it's basically as if that car is covered in a like film of ice. The entire thing is basically frozen in ice right now. My car was the same way this morning when I got into it at first. I was able to wait my 5-10 minutes before I hit the road, but it is so cold that all these cars that I've seen that have been parked on the side of the road have been almost glistening, and that glistening is from ice. It's not from a car wash or anything like that. So that ice has been everywhere. It's all over the roads. There have been people driving up the road right in front of us, and you can't even see tire tracks anymore because of how frozen it is. It's very, very dangerous. When I've walked around, my footprints have not been there like it would in a normal snowstorm. So it's the conditions are very different than a normal snowstorm and very, very dangerous, very icy and very cold to walk around.
Yeah, you mentioned the pets earlier. I thought that was a really good point. Just like walking around with the paws on the salt and then on the ice too, of it getting just like making sure that their little paws are okay. And with people leaving today, just making sure when they're walking out their front door that they don't slip and fall. Yasmine was talking about that earlier. Yasmine, what has it been like for you this morning? Because we could hear the sleet falling on your umbrella.
I mean, you could hear it, you can feel it, you could see it. I mean, it was coming down so strong. I mean, before I even got outside this morning, inside the station, I mean, you could just hear it coming down so fast, and you could just see that when I was outside. It was literally the sleet was literally hitting me in my face. It felt like 100 little pinches all over my skin. It was crazy. I mean, it was insane. You can even see right now that still a pretty light film of sleet on the ground right now. So it's still sticking there. I mean, it should freeze too because it is very cold. But I mean, even walking to my car this morning, I nearly slipped. I nearly slipped. And there wasn't that much sleet on the ground to begin with. And then when I got in my car, I turned it on. I was like, oh, wait, I can't even see out my window. My windshield. So I had to park my car again, like near my neighborhood, and then I got out the car, got my snow scraper, and was scraping off that all that ice. And the ice was thick. I mean, it was really hard just to get it all off your window. I mean, it was difficult. So I mean, just even coming here was tricky too because my car almost slid as well. I mean, it wasn't even as bad this morning when I head here to the station, but earlier this morning around, let's say 5:30, that's when it got really, really worse. So there are some streets here that PennDOT is salting, but there's going to be some streets that they're not going to work on. So talk about just walking to your car, but even walking your dog, running and jogging, you don't want to work out in this weather because you will slip, you will fall. This is not a pretty condition right now.
Yeah, I know, Yasmin. I was asking Andrew earlier, like, is it snow or is it ice pellets? And he was saying it's ice pellets. And Steve, when you were talking about it melting a little bit earlier on, are we seeing conditions that will allow this to melt so that this afternoon, if we need to get out, we can?
Yeah, it's going to take a little while,
Okay.
but I really do think if you're really thinking about putting off travel, I would say basically anytime after 11 a.m. this morning should be much, much better. Temperatures will not only be on the rise, but that's also going to allow not only PennDOT, but all the local municipalities to start to get after this a little bit and get out there on those roadways as the steadiest precipitation starts to wind down. And I do think that essentially by 11, we will be done. I would be remiss, though, Candace, so I didn't mention we're already tracking our next weather maker for Sunday. Sunday looks like we could have some snow, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon,
Sunday or
into go
Saturday?
into a wintry mix of sleet and freezing rain Saturday night. So just
Saturday
putting it
night.
out there. We've got lots more wintry weather in the pipeline to come.
Okay, and we are tracking a lot of traffic accidents as well on the roadways throughout Central PA, so be extra careful. PennDOT crews are not treating every roadway that you have ever traveled on. A lot of back roads and neighborhoods are not treated as well. We are actually going to jump back on TV right now. We have to do a live cut-in for everybody in our region just to update them about what's going on. But make sure that you stay with us. We're going to check in with you in another hour just to update you on the conditions right here, right around 8 o'clock. We'll have Yasmine and Andrew and Steve here too. So if you are seeing this, if you're watching it in real time, or if you watch this later, tune in at 8 o'clock this morning and we'll keep you updated on all the conditions and be extra careful out there. It really is slippery and icy out.